As one of the longest running franchises in gaming history, it's no surprise the Call of Duty meta has been broken a fair few times, whether it's overpowered weapons or straight up broken mechanics.
Look at this! Wow! This game sucks!
But what happens when top level pro players are given the same opportunity to abuse the game? Today we're going to talk about the 7 most broken metas in pro Call of Duty history, which caused absolute chaos. We begin with arguably the most broken character in Call of Duty history. Infinite Warfare is one of the most hated COD games of all time, with the reveal trailer racking up the 25th most dislikes in YouTube's history as a platform. And despite being remembered fondly by some, this game set in outer space resulted in an astronomical amount of issues. But nothing was more broken than the playable robot character in multiplayer, known as Synaptic. Synaptic appeared much slimmer compared to other combat rigs. This earns it the nickname the Skinny Bot, coined by former world champion Killer, who won the world championship in 2013.
Skinny body character!
I'm just losing my one-on-ones to the skinny character, dude. It's demoralizing me.
And despite clearly having a visually smaller hitbox, YouTuber Exclusive Ace insisted that was not the case.
He does feel like he's harder to hit because he looks noticeably smaller, so you feel as though he's harder to hit than the other targets. This simply isn't the case based on all of my testing here.
However, pro players begged to differ. Reigning world champion J-Cap did his own tests, claiming the hitboxes did not seem the same across all the characters. However, a suspicious hitbox wasn't the only advantage Synaptic had to offer over the other combat rigs. One of its traits was called propulsion, allowing you to recharge your jetpack thruster much faster.
It comes back instantaneously. That ain't fair. It's not fair. Look at this. That ain't skillful.
And its signature payload known as Rewind, allowing you to teleport back to a previous location. Broken or not, Synaptic remained in competitive play for CWL Vegas, the first tournament of the season.
That puts all of the pressure actually on Aqua, not on Reedy. And we're going to see what Aqua decides to do. Aqua checks the bomb, but there's the rewind. Aqua
Oh my God,
it's Reedy with the clutch.
Reedy using
And
the rewind!
defuse.
However, it didn't take long for the community to notice just how broken it really was. Just weeks after the conclusion of Las Vegas, Synaptic was officially restricted from competitive play. Skinnybot was swiftly terminated. But this wasn't the only restriction during the Infinite Warfare season. Early on in the game, a few teams had discovered a weapon so powerful it was basically unfair. That gun was the OSA, or the OSA. With its insanely fast fire rate and controllable recoil, this led to it being the fastest killing assault rifle in the game.
This gun is the best. This assault rifle is the best submachine gun in the game.
A whole page of people just complaining about the OSA is going to get banned. They want this thing to get banned for competitive.
However, just like Synaptic, when it came under the spotlight at Las Vegas, it was clear how overpowered it actually was.
And as of right now, it's a 17-5 performance from Vicento. 18-5, another strike. Vicento, though, because he's the hot hand. We have the new hardpoint popping up, and he is shooting lasers with this OSA. Yeah, his recoil's not a factor right now. Apparently, when he's doing this, somebody stop this man. 20-7. Where did this Vicento come from?
Rise Nation were the eventual winners of the tournament, and Vicento was named MVP with a staggering 1.20 KD ratio. He accomplished this with the ultimate loadout, using the OSA and Skinnybot all tournament long. Just like Synaptic, the OSA was banned from competitive play swiftly after Las Vegas. And despite Rise and runners-up Cloud9 mastering the early meta, both teams failed to live up to expectations the rest of the season, making 0 grand finals the rest of the year. Since we're on the topic of overpowered guns, we have to talk about the Bison from Call of Duty Ghosts, which followed up what many people consider to be the best game of all time in Black Ops 2. And despite Infinity Ward doing their best by adding new mechanics, its lackluster maps and ridiculous time to kill made for a rather negative experience for many. But it wasn't until April 3rd of 2014 where players were truly blown away at just how fast they could kill.
Yo!
Enter the Bison, an SMG with a high rate of fire and reduced recoil. As Infinity Ward introduced a buff to the base damage of all SMGs, the Bison also received improved headshot damage and range.
The one thing you're going to notice right away is you're going to die ridiculously fast. So buffing the weapons kind of doesn't really make any sense to me.
However, this adjustment resulted in arguably the best weapon to ever grace Call of Duty.
Just look how I'm dying, man. What?
Able to kill in 2 minutes if a headshot was landed, the Bison was basically a cheat code. It was ultimately given a headshot damage nerf soon after and was subsequently banned from competitive play. Unlike the Bison, the Remington from Black Ops 2 was never so much seen as overpowered. Shotguns in particular have never really been a mainstay in the competitive world. That being said, there have been a few exceptions to the rule, especially before Gentlemen's Agreements really started to come into effect from Advanced Warfare and beyond. Black Ops 1 saw teams like Fear and Optic using the Spaz 12, particularly in S&D.
With a 3-round victory, look at this! He picks up one, just got one shot off, and then pulls into the red dot on the map and finishes it off. The other guy didn't even have a chance.
Great round-ending kill cam.
However, the next entry in the Black Ops series birthed the shotgun ever stronger. Yet the Remington was rarely used in competitive play due to its obvious range limitations. However, in the grand finals of the 2013 World Championship, Parasite of Furico Impact decided to open Pandora's box, showing the whole world just how broken it could be. On hijacked hardpoint against Team Envious, Parasite had the idea to bring out the Remington on the specific downstairs hill located in the engine room. This part of the map had just 2 entry points from which enemies could attack, giving the easiest opportunity of his life to farm Envy players with basically 0 effort.
This is why Parasite is one of the best hardpoint players in the game. That knowledge to just back off, to set up on this next hardpoint is going to give them 2 score streaks for Parasite. Is he going to get a 3rd kill? Yes, he's going to get the 4th as well. Huge play from Parasite with the shotgun. This is what we said before the map started. He's going to continue this rampage as well. One more! One streak and he's on a 9th streak!
Oh my goodness!
Oh my god!
Parasite with the...
Surprisingly, the Remington remained in competitive play after Champs, but the removal of hijacked from the map pool and subsequent nerfs meant that it was the last time any pro player could cause chaos that Parasite did with it at the World Championship.
And there it is! TP! Woo! Killer not happy about that one.
Killer!
Following the increasing crackdown from pro players over the coming years as to which weapons should be used, the shotguns are now routinely either gentlemen's agreemented by the pros, or usually straight up banned by the competitive rule set today. While many will have forgotten about the Remington's heyday, something that is still abused today is snaking. First introduced into the Call of Duty world back in Modern Warfare 3.
This is something that pro players use, and it gives them tremendous amounts of advantage in the middle of the game.
But with the game changing every year, snaking was not always possible and remained absent for many years. But in 2017, word got around fast that snaking was once again possible. To snake successfully, a player must use a piece of cover, go prone, then immediately get back up by sprinting forwards. This renders them virtually invisible to opponents, while the player snaking can have a crystal clear view of their enemy.
All you guys are on, I'm waiting till all you guys are on.
Be back, my friends.
You guys, look at how OP this is. They were all just trying to shoot at me.
Oh, my bad.
They were all just trying to shoot at me, and they cannot kill me, because snaking is that overpowered. That's how overpowered it is.
Snaking was performed throughout the 2017 season, particularly by Stage 1 champion Spice when they won that event. However, pro players agreed after this event to stop using it via a gentleman's agreement, also known as a GA. This would not be the end, however, to the snaking dilemma. A few years later, certain players would occasionally break this gentleman's agreement. Certainly during Black Ops Cold War, there was much frustration over Celium's abuse of this particular mechanic, and he did not seem willing to back down.
One of the most famous players that you guys obviously are well aware of is Cell. He is one of the players that has continued to do it, even if people have been GAing it, even if people have agreed not to do it.
So in the 2023 season, all agreements went out of the window, and snaking was open for everyone to abuse.
It blows my mind because I feel like no developer, like a COD developer, has watched any of these games. If I saw this and like you'd want to fix it. Yeah, you'd want to fix it. It's a super abusive mechanic.
With Modern Warfare 3 CDL season underway, pros have once again agreed to ban the mechanic from being used repeatedly.
Get a grip! No!
It seems the maximum number of snakes allowed is 2 before a penalty is enforced by the GA Commissioner Zuma. However, in a theoretical final round at the World Championship with millions of dollars on the line, it remains to be seen whether pros would respect the GA in that particular circumstance. Unlike snaking, movement in the jetpack era was a necessity. In Black Ops 3, Treyarch leaned away from the double jumping and dashing style of Advanced Warfare and introduced wall running. Despite being challenging for the average player, for the professionals, they were able to chain their movements seamlessly, making for some ridiculous clips. Unfortunately for others, they got rather too creative. Clayster of FaZe Clan caused his team to be forfeited in a Pro League match against Complexity during the Black Ops 3 online league, for using what they called an unintended line of sight on Stronghold Search and Destroy.
So here you see Clayster just chilling on some trees.
Using a hidden ledge within a tree to get a very long-range sightline on the B bomb site that was deemed unacceptable by the league itself, with Treyarch's lenient jetpack mechanics increasing the fun factor, allowing players to reach areas in the map that they probably shouldn't. This rather broke the game in the process.
This is a spot where you just jump to it and you're standing on the little edge of a building. I'm not too sure if this is a glitch spot. There's so many spots like this on every single map that it's so absurd to sit there and have to go on a case-by-case basis, because on these spots you're standing on something. But is it a glitch spot? I don't know. Is this intended or not? I don't know. There is a lip to the building.
While some thought the jetpack era was a fun period, others most certainly did not.
What is this? This guy just skipped across the whole map.
The jetpack era is missed by much of the community, but one thing people are more split on is the potential return of specialist abilities. Whether it's pulling out a super weapon or dying to a specialist, that was certainly a frustrating moment. For competitive play, it's arguable that nothing was more frustrating than the Tempest. Black Ops 4 saw the return of Specialist for 2019, and also the return of the Tempest, which we saw previously back in Black Ops 3. However, the new iteration was arguably far stronger. The accuracy while hip-firing was second to none, and to make things worse, it could chain from enemy to enemy. This weapon in the wrong hands would spell disaster for the opposition, and it most certainly did. Arcetes had a phenomenal individual performance on E-United at the kickoff in Las Vegas, but so did Optic's new recruit in Dashi, who mastered the weapon heading into the first event in CWL Las Vegas. He made play after play with this specialist, leading Optic to another championship.
The Tempest of the young phenom. Is this where he ices it? One down. Two. I got a little excited. He didn't actually hit the shot for the rest of the team. Oh! There's the 180!
And while the Tempest was nerfed soon thereafter in the hipfire accuracy department, that didn't stop Dashi from continuing to dominate with it, showing why pros should stick to shooting bullets rather than bolts of electricity. And there you have it, the most game-breaking metas that pros have abused in competitive Call of Duty. What do you think was the most overpowered? Let us know if we missed any in the comments below. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more content just like this.